Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hi, my name is Stephanie, and today I'm going to be giving my top 5 lessons learned my first semester of college. I know my audience is predominantly young women, but no matter how old you are, or if you're a guy, I think these lessons are applicable to your stage of life. So let's just get on with it. Lesson number 5. Sometimes all it takes is a second opinion to get out of a writing slump. Regardless of your major, you will be writing in college. You will be writing papers, you will be doing a lot of reading. Mine is mass communication, so I do a lot of writing, but it is important that you get some routine or some system going to write as efficiently as possible. I thought I had this whole system going, with my classes and assignments, and I was sticking to the schedule. But near the end of the semester, you start getting these more long-term projects and these longer papers, which are different than writing a simple 2-page or 6-page paper. It's 10 pages at least. And when I had that in my political science class, I struggled to get more words on the page, and I was losing confidence in the structure of my paper. It was about the war in Afghanistan and the Taliban, and I had to formulate an argument, and that was my first argumentative piece of the semester. So as you can imagine, I struggled trying to get the tone across and, again, the structure of my paper. I cannot tell you how helpful it was to have a classmate read over it and just put comments on my Google Doc. I wish I had done that sooner. I thought I could just do it all myself, but sometimes you have to swallow your pride and go to a professor's office hours or get a friend's second opinion. Even going to the writing center, I did that for my first paper, and that really helped. So swallowing your pride and remembering that it is not a sign of weakness or incompetence to ask for a second opinion if you are stuck. It actually, more likely than not, will help your writing. In fact, all writers have to go through an editing process and get other people's opinions in order to publish something, so don't feel ashamed of doing that. Number 4, think not about what your college can do for you, but what you can do for your college. This tip or lesson definitely pertains more to the students who are applying to colleges and are getting so stressed and anxious about if they are looking at the right schools, if their first choice is the best commitment, or maybe they already committed and they're having some doubts. So I went through that whole emotional roller coaster not too long ago, and I can tell you that I should have taken this tip to heart as I was doing my search, because I think you can get so wrapped up in, well, what are the resources that the school is going to give me? Like, that is what's going to determine if I'm successful. Don't get me wrong, a school's reputation is important, and that is a big factor in the schools that you are applying to, I'm presuming, but it's not everything. So whether or not you get accepted by your top school or the school that is the most prestigious, that is not going to determine whether or not you are successful, whether or not you work hard, hopefully, and are trying the best that you can to get the job you want. So joining the clubs that interest you the most is what's going to be the most conducive to getting the most out of your school. Guess what? Once you apply and you're accepted and you commit, it's no longer going to be about researching the school and making sure it has all you want. It's going to be, okay, you're more independent than you've ever been, especially if you're living on campus, and you need to decide for yourself what clubs you're going to join, and think about how you can get involved, because that is going to make your college experience so much more enjoyable, not whether or not the school has a certain program or a very specific award, right, that you're determined to earn. It doesn't all bank on names, is what I'm trying to say. This is another lesson that pertains to writing assignments, or maybe any project you're doing, and that is never underestimate taking a break, stepping away from whatever you're working on and coming back to it. This is something that especially helps me to get my creative juices flowing, and it also is just an excellent part of the writing process, right? You're not supposed to just go to your computer, type something up the night before it's due, and then just submit it without looking at it again. You are supposed to dissect the prompt, put down your ideas. Maybe there are bullet points, maybe some form of an outline. Make some paragraphs out of that, some sentences and paragraphs, and then take a step back, come to it the next day. And you want to give yourself plenty of time to keep revisiting it so that you are making the revisions necessary to get some deep thinking across and communicate ideas that make sense. They flow. They're not just rapidly generated the night before it's due. I know I have caught so many mistakes doing this, and it's good that I did catch them and I was able to get rid of them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have caught them. Plus, it just helps my sanity to take a break. I want to get that first part of the tip across. Take a break. There's a lot going to be thrown at you, and for the first few weeks or so, you will be struggling to get a routine. And sometimes it can be so hard to just break out of it or diverge from that. But when you're just not feeling right and you know you haven't given yourself a break, you should. You will clear your head and end up coming up with better ideas by doing so. I think the second tip ties a lot into the fourth tip, and that is you are your biggest advocate. When you get to college and you are attending your classes, especially if you live on campus and you don't have your parents around, you need to be your own goal setter, schedule builder, nutritionist, almost anything that your mom or your parents did for you, you need to do for yourself. And that sounds very overwhelming, and I'm sure for a lot of people it is in the beginning. I know it's a very different feel, but with independence comes a lot of joy and self-efficacy that will really help you in the long run. I say this not to stress people out, but to find excitement in making your own decisions, because it's pretty awesome. You'll find that you'll have a lot more free time than you did in high school, at least outside of class. Your day isn't fully taken up by classes. You have time in between, you have time afterward that you can fill with clubs, hanging out with friends, going to other events, etc. You're taking on more responsibilities, but you can also be the one to say, no, I need a break, and no one's really going to fight you on that. So just remember to take accountability and you'll be fine. If I ever felt down in the mornings because I maybe slept in and I was hoping I'd be able to get up early, I just decided to take some small steps to change that. Like today, for example, was the first time I actually dressed up and put makeup on in a few days, actually, and it's been really nice because it's given me more structure. So just remember, you are your biggest advocate, and find hope and motivation in that rather than a burden. And the last lesson that I have learned, and I hope you can take away from this whole video, is that nobody cares. Do I think you should care? Yes, absolutely. But if you spilled coffee on your shirt one day and you're really self-conscious about everyone judging you, or you just did not get much sleep last night and you're stressing out that you're going to rub people the wrong way, or whatever it may be, if you're a really self-conscious person, just take some peace out of knowing that whatever you are going through is what you are going through, okay? No one else is likely irritated by something that you are irritated or worried about. So just take all of your worries with a grain of salt. Try not to let whatever you are insecure about that day ruin your whole day. View each class or each encounter with another person as an opportunity to have some fun and turn your day around. I mean, if I had let my maybe unproductive mornings and my consequential sour mood ruin my evening classes, because yes, I had classes at 5 p.m. every other day, then my whole day would have just been terrible. And I'm glad that I allowed myself to feel whatever I was feeling earlier and then say, but that's not going to determine the rest of my day. And if you don't let it, then it won't. It's really that simple. It ties into my second tip. I mean, I feel like these tips just all intertwine, but that's what I hope you take away from this video, and to remember it's never too late to change course. Alright guys, I think that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of it. And please share it with anyone you think might need to hear it, however old they are. I'm really glad I was able to make this video. I've been waiting to find the right college video ideas. So if you are interested in watching more videos related to college or advice, please give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. Alright, have a good one, guys. Bye. I am so glad you all cannot see this wicked contraption I have as a camera stand. Okay, we have pillows, we have containers. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it up to the imagination.